To prepare for the new Dragon Ball game coming out in 10 days, I'm going to Platinum Dragon Ball The Breakers. This is an asymmetrical game where 7 survivors try and take down a villain called Raiders. I'll have to play a lot of both sides, especially Survivor, for the Platinum. So let's get started while this game still has players. Quick note, this game has a priority system. Every match I play as a survivor makes the number go up. The higher it is, the more likely I am to be a raider in my next match. Sometimes, these numbers can get stupid high if you're unlucky. We start with a tutorial, like we would in most games, but this takes the cake for the most aggravating. It took me an hour to finally be able to walk around the hub area. The game was holding my hand every step of the way, and I couldn't skip any of it. I'd love to talk more about it, but I'd be here all day. After tutorial hell, that is actually what I named this file, I can finally move around and go buy something in the shop to unlock my first trophy. Now that I can play freely against actual players, I'll be able to get a lot of easy trophies. As soon as I use a skill for the first time, I pop a trophy, as well as using an emote. I had a game where Frieza was destroying us and I had to constantly revive people. After reviving my third teammate, I got a trophy. In the same game, I also got a trophy for placing 2 power keys. After a few games, I had enough Zenny to buy a character from the Spirit Siphon, and that got me another trophy. Immediately after, I remembered about the shirt I bought earlier and changed into it for another trophy. In my next game, I got lucky and got a trophy for finding 2 power keys in the same match. After about 5 survivor matches, I'm getting my chance to be a raider. My goal here is to simply make sure no survivor escapes. In my first match, I was able to pop 2 trophies. I got one for doing a voice line and another for finishing off 4 survivors in one match. I wasn't able to get all 7, so that'll have to wait for another match. I have to play as a survivor for at least a few matches until I can play with Cell again. So let's work on more survivor trophies. I bust out another emote, but this time in the pregame lobby for a trophy, and I opened 5 red item boxes in a single match for another one. I'm surprised that one took me this long. I also pinged an item for a teammate for another trophy. I know it looks like I'm getting a lot of trophies easily, but trust me, this will end sooner than you think. I'm back playing as Cell, and to say I got lucky this game is an understatement. There's a trophy for finishing a survivor off with a special finisher, and it's random whenever you'll get it. I got it on the first survivor I finished off this game. A normal finisher for Cell first form looks like this. The special finisher looks like this.
Your life is mine.
I didn't do anything different, I just got lucky. My luck doesn't end there, as I also got a trophy for getting to level 4 as Cell. And the survivors were kind enough to gather all 7 Dragon Balls for me. They dropped them for me by force when I knocked them down. Making a wish at Shenron got me another trophy. And by this point, there was only 1 survivor left. I did my area destruction move, and by chance, got the last survivor. I wasn't kidding when I said I got insanely lucky this game. My next match as survivor, I found a civilian radar. There's a trophy for rescuing 5 civilians in a single match. There are more than 5 civilians per match, but since other teammates and the raider can't interact with them, it's a scramble for who gets there first. No one seemed to care about civilians this game, so I got the trophy easily. At this point, matches are taking about 10 minutes to start. I don't think the average wait time is 2 minutes anymore. The fastest I've gone in the game is 5 minutes. I went to make food, and I was still waiting when I got back. It took 23 minutes to find a match. Okay, so a few matches later, which at this point has been like an hour of just sitting in the lobby waiting, I had another lucky game. Cell ignored me most of the game, so I was able to gather a lot of Zenny by destroying objects. I had to buy an item from vending machines 6 times in one match for a trophy. Each vending machine can only be bought from twice before disappearing. The cheapest item is a rocket launcher for 1000 Zenny, but those machines aren't too common. After I bought the 6th item, the trophy popped. I guess Cell also ignored everyone else since we were able to start the Super Time Machine without much interference. No complaints from me since I got 2 trophies for it, one for starting the Super Time Machine and one for starting the Super Time Machine with everyone still alive. I am happy I got both of these done at once since keeping everyone alive and escaping is one of the hardest trophies. I was fully expecting to have to grind for this trophy by the end, so thank you Cell for basically giving it out. If the Super Time Machine gets destroyed, then a few mini time machines spawn in the map. They can also spawn if 4 survivors are finished off to allow the others to escape. These can each hold 4 survivors, 1 pilot with 3 passengers. I had a game when Vegeta destroyed the Super Time Machine and I hitchhiked on someone else's time machine. While I was on the time machine, I responded to an ally signal somehow and popped a trophy for it. I'm not even sure what button I pressed. Another teammate hopped on with us and we all escaped, popping a trophy for escaping on a time machine with 3 or more survivors. Another trophy I thought would be a lot more difficult, but I ended up getting lucky. I decided to try out playing as Frieza and go after the trophy for finishing off 5 civilians in one match. This is the same issue as before, since the survivors can interact with civilians before I can, and I don't have any civilian radar to help me find them. I do have Frieza Scouter in his first form to help me a bit. Once again, it seemed like no one cared about civilians, so I got this first try. Finishing off the 5th civilian in one match got me the trophy. In the same match, no one contested me destroying the Super Time Machine, and I got a trophy for destroying it. If you remember from earlier, when the Super Time Machine is destroyed, then a few mini time machines show up. If I can destroy one with a survivor in it, I'll get a trophy. This is kind of luck based, since a survivor could just leave the second they get into a time machine. I had to hope for altruism and that they wouldn't leave their teammates behind. This survivor was trying to leave the moment they saw me, but I was able to blow them up before they could escape. I'm at the point now where the trophies I have left need to be focused on 1 per match. No more getting multiple trophies per match. Now I'd be lucky to get 1 every couple matches, which at this pace could take hours. The first trophy I decided to go for was to achieve Dragon Change level 3. This is the number in the bottom left corner that amounts to how strong I'll be when I transform. I gain power by gathering power cubes. They can be found in chests, dropped from objects when I destroy them, and each civilian will drop 3 small power cubes when I rescue them. It goes without saying, the larger ones give more power and thus are more valuable, but harder to find. The big issue with this is staying alive long enough to get level 3. Most of the time, I would die at only level 1 or 2, or if I was unlucky, nothing at all. Anytime the raider would come near me, I try my best to avoid them. By doing that, I contradicted myself from earlier when I said no more popping multiple trophies in one match. I did just that here. Granted, it did take multiple matches for it. I wasn't even trying for this, but I got a trophy for escaping the raider 3 times in a single match. I was just trying to survive. Later in the same match, I got a bunch of power cubes from a supply drop to get Dragon Change level 3. I got to play another match with Cell, and I wanted to focus on survivors who had Dragon Change available. I could tell they had one if there was static over their character. I targeted them and waited for them to attack me. When they did, I pressed circle towards them to do a vanish move and get a trophy. That's all I can do as Cell for now, so back to Survivor. This took a few games, but I wanted to punch the raider while they were destroying the Super Time Machine. In hindsight, this was stupid, but I was hoping I would be ignored and they'd go for the Super Time Machine while I waited nearby. I don't know why, but in so many of my games, they just ignored the time machine and wouldn't even try destroying it. I sat there waiting and nothing. The one time someone did, I got blasted before I even got close. After enough games, I did get lucky and got someone who was oblivious and was able to punch them and get the trophy. After this match ended, I also got the trophy for getting to level 30 as Survivor. This next trophy I got took me hours upon hours to get. And honestly, I think most of that time was spent waiting to get into a match. I have to defeat the Raider with an attack while I'm in Ultimate Dragon Change. The only way to do this is to make a wish at Shenron for it, and to do that, I need all 7 Dragon Balls. That's not all of it, because I also have to land the last hit. If someone else gets the last hit, then the trophy won't pop. And somehow this gets even worse. The Dragon Balls, the things I need to collect to get this trophy, aren't even guaranteed to spawn. There can be games where there's no Dragon Balls. It's not common, but it's happened enough for me to notice and waste matches looking for something that isn't even on the map. I have so many failed attempts with this trophy, but let's go over all the close calls I had. All the times this trophy was within reach. I had one game where I almost got all the Dragon Balls, but I couldn't find the last one. Everyone was either down or dead, so I had no idea if any of them had it. I tried scavenging their bodies, but then I got found and killed. Then I had another game where everyone was so lovely and dropped me their Dragon Balls when they saw I had some. They all transformed too to help me. Baby Vegeta was only level 2, so I thought I had this in the bag. Obviously, if I'm telling you this now, I didn't. Maybe I should have kept my distance more. I felt so bad failing after everyone did so much to help. The third time, I got 6 Dragon Balls again, but got attacked before I could find the last one. I basically gave them to Baby on a silver platter. Another game, I managed to get 5, and I saw one teammate had one. I had no idea where the last one was, but I got killed before I could find it. I had another game when I got all 7 Dragon Balls again, but I wasn't able to win by myself. I'm trying to keep my distance and spam Kamehameha, but if he's a bit too close to me, then my character will automatically try and melee attack him. It's annoying. Now finally, I had managed to get all 7 Dragon Balls again, and this time my teammates had already weakened Cell, and all died off, so I didn't have to worry about them stealing my kill. Keep in mind, this is only the close calls I had. I didn't say any attempts where I only found 1 or 2 Dragon Balls because there'd be too many. I don't think I can accurately describe how painful this trophy was and how long it took. This trophy easily has taken me the longest to get. It took me so many matches, I even got a trophy for finishing 50 Survivor matches somewhere in there. There's only a few more Survivor trophies left. I have to interrupt a teammate being finished off. In one of the games I was going for the Dragon Balls, I managed to get this by accident when trying to knock the Dragon Balls out of Baby. My teammate still died though. The other trophy is similar to before when I punched the Raider while they were destroying the Super Time Machine. This is the same thing, except now I need to attack them while in Dragon Change at a lower level than theirs. I stayed at level 1 the whole game and waited for them to start destroying the Time Machine to attack them. Again, it took a while until I found someone who was both destroying the Time Machine and was oblivious to me. The last Survivor trophy is simple. Just level up any skill to 20. I had thousands of points from matches to do this. The trophy popped when a skill hit level 20. I wish I could say I was done with Survivor, but in order to play as Cell, I have to play an average of 5 matches as Survivor, and we all know how long those can take. I'll be skipping to only the matches I'm playing as Cell now. Every time I level up in-game, I can use an area destruction move. Survivors know when this is happening and are given an ample amount of time to escape it. There's a trophy for downing 2 survivors with one of these. You can see how this would be difficult. A survivor would have to be AFK or not paying attention to be downed by one of these. I tried to down a survivor and leave them there, hoping a teammate would try to save them before the area was destroyed. I tried this method multiple times until one game it either finally worked or someone took pity on me. Either way, I'll take it. That was the last difficult trophy. If you're watching with subtitles, you'll notice difficult was in quotes. You'll see why in a second. Like with Survivor, I had to both level up a skill to 20 and get to level 30 with Cell. Survivors also had a trophy for playing 50 matches, and Raiders have a trophy similar. How many matches do you think I need to play as Cell for a trophy? You get to play as a Raider on average every 5 Survivor matches, if you're lucky. So obviously, you think you only have to do 10 matches for the trophy. What if I said no? I have to play 50 Raider matches for a trophy, which in total is also at least 250 Survivor matches. This isn't difficult. It's just a grind doing Survivor matches over and over, hoping that sometimes I'll get lucky and get a match with Cell below the average 5 Survivor matches. This trophy is the definition of monotony, but I did it. I sat down, finished this entire script up to this point while working on it between matches, because God knows that I have time to kill. It would take at least an hour of Survivor matches to get a game with Cell. I did Survivor match after Survivor match just to play as Cell once, then do it all again until the trophy popped. I made the mistake of not keeping track of my matches, so I had no clue when it would pop. It was the same thing, over and over and over again. Then something just snapped. Something inside of me. I didn't care anymore. I didn't care about being better than survivors. I didn't care about getting this trophy. I didn't care if I lived. I didn't care about anything. And then it happened. The day has finally come. Yeah, no kidding. I thought this day would never come. You'd think this would be my last trophy, but I purposefully left completing the prologue as my last trophy, so I knew when the platinum would pop. Obviously, I'm now a master at this game from all the time I've spent on it, so finishing the prologue is no sweat. Let's finally close out this game and see that platinum, after I get the trophy for finishing the prologue. The platinum is called the breaking point. I don't think I could have come up with a better name if I tried. According to the guides I used, this game should take around 60 to 70 hours of platinum. I bet you would love to see how long I took. My PS5 says it took me 100 hours. I honestly think at least 20, maybe even 30 of those hours were just waiting for matches. They were spent being idle. I wasn't even playing the game. Keep in mind, both of these guides were created 2 weeks after the game came out. I have to imagine the 2-minute wait time for a match was accurate back then. I do not recommend this game because the player base is so low at this point, even with crossplay on. Getting the platinum will be even worse. Why is it that every Dragon Ball Platinum I've gotten on the channel is a huge grind? Is that just the standard for Dragon Ball games?